What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. We're coming at you with another tier list today. We are ranking every manufacturer, not really every manufacturer's best putters. So this is not an exhaustive list, or else we'd be here all day. Be sure to let us know what we missed in the comments below, and then grab some popcorn and hang out with us while we talk about how terrible these putters are.
We're actually going to start off with the putter that is in my bag, the Prodigy PA3. Now, I love this disc. I chose early on to just pick a putter and then never change because I was just so afraid that I would get worse at putting if I ever changed. But I love the PA3. I love Prodigy plastic, and the PA3 is nice and overstable.
If Isaac Robinson is putting with it, probably pretty
Probably
good.
a great putter. Also, that man can throw a PA3
That's
like
true.
Nobody's business. I know all the pros can throw their putters, but
we do have an approach discs video, so these ones are more so putting putters, but there's definitely some overlap and some hybrid throwing putters in here.
The ability to throw the putter also definitely helps it earn its tier. I think it just... if I were to put it in Swanky, it would be just complete bias, so it's going in great, I think.
Well, I mean, we are Swanky Disc Golf, so maybe we can...
Alright, you drive a hard bargain. It's a Swanky tier putter. We are Swanky Disc Golf, and we say...
Well, the PA3 is also, like... I don't know. I feel like if there's one disc that everybody knows from Prodigy now, it's the PA3.
It's the PA3.
Because literally, maybe I'm wrong. I think Luke Humphreys might putt with P-Model something or other.
P-Model S's.
But other than that, I feel like literally everybody putts with PA3s. It's like, there's just no debate.
They're very comfortable. They have a large bead.
They feel good.
If you're into beaded putters, PA3 is one of the few reliable putters on the market. I mean, there are obviously others, and we'll get to them. But the PA3 is just a classic.
Yes.
Swanky classic.
Okay, up next we have a lesser-known one, the Viking Discs Rune. And we actually do have a video of us using this in our last starter set challenge for, I guess, this year, 2022.
Yeah.
We had the Viking Disc Rune, and it actually felt pretty good. I want to say it was the better feeling putter out of pretty much all. Well, we also had the Rico in that. We'll get to that later. It felt good.
The Rune is good.
I think James had it. Yeah.
It made it look good.
I would say availability-wise, it's not quite as available as a lot of these other ones. But it's good. I don't think they have a lot of different plastics for it.
One thing I will say about the Rune is that in base plastic, everyone I talk to loves it. I think it's called ground plastic. In their premium plastics, I can't remember, Storm plastic. It's very domey in those plastics, and people really dislike the dome on it. But the flat ground plastic is like really nice.
I think this is a safe good category.
Oh,
it's a good disc.
Definitely good. Safe good. All right, what do we got next?
Roach.
That's the Roach. Okay, the Discraft Roach.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is, because some would argue that it's just a Luna. But it is, in fact, not. It is a Roach. And, I mean, I've never putted with one. I've thrown a few before. I had the Brody Roaches when they first came out just to throw them around and try them out. So, yeah, obviously, Brody Smith kind of popularizing it as of late. Obviously, it's been around for a while. Just a straight flying putter. Very available. Not the cheapest putter you can buy, but in their base plastic. They're calling it putter plastic now, right?
Yes, yeah. Cheaper than a Luna.
Cheaper than a Luna, that's absolutely for sure. I don't see any reason to put this above good, if I'm being honest. I think it's probably above the Rune in good.
That's true. Yeah.
It's nothing stands out to me. It's not
I think it has a lot of plastics.
It does.
I feel like I see a new plastic every year. They put it out in a new plastic.
If you want to have that bag cohesiveness of like you have your throwing putters and your putting putters are the same mold, the Roach is a great option because it is widely available in so many plastics.
Yeah. I think we'll leave it in good, I guess. Could be great. But
it could be great. We'll see how things shake up.
It's good today. Up next, we have the Nomad. And I have actually thrown this a lot. I've putted with it, done challenges with it. It's a good disc. It's maybe a great disc. It is really comfortable. It's a retooled Ion. So the Nomad is to the Ion what the Luna kind of is to the Roach.
Okay,
It's because James Conrad started putting with Ions when he first joined up with MVP, and then they're like, we want you to have your own putter. We're going to get you your own line of discs. And so he kind of retooled. They're very similar numbers, I believe.
Slap my name on an Ion.
Yeah, I think this one is like 2401, if I'm not mistaken, and then the Ion's like 2.5, 3.501 or something like that. You know how MVP likes their decimals. It really is so good though. It's a great disc, I would say. I'm gonna put it in great.
Give it a great.
Just because it's a gyro.
Just gyro. No. It gets the gyro edge.
I think it just genuinely feels amazing. That being said, it's a retooled Ion, but the Ion also feels amazing. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. Okay, Clash Discs Butter is up next.
Butter.
Yeah, we had the chance to throw this in a few plastics. That metal flake plastic they sent us.
It was really cool.
Very cool. It was like an opaque champion-esque sort of. I'm sorry, not opaque. It was like a translucent champion-esque plastic with like metal flakes in it. Yeah, it was awesome. They're very glidey putters, very straight flying. As a putting putter, I don't know. They're very neutral. I think they're like 2 speeds. Are they 2 speeds?
2 speed.
2301. Yeah,
I assume
that's a putter if I ever heard one. Yeah, but
I can speak to it. They feel really good. The plastic is amazing.
Clash is so good.
Plastic is amazing. I will say they're expensive, especially coming from the US. Like all Clash discs are super expensive right now, and I think they'll work to make that better in the future. But right now, a butter putter is going to run you probably $20.
Butter putter.
Yeah.
Butter putter is going in good between the Roach and the Rune.
Yeah.
I like it there. The Rune has the problems with the premium plastic, so I like the butter right there.
Absolutely. Up next, we have the bestseller from Discmania, the P2. And I mean, this is like an iconic, legendary putter. I did putt with P2s for a while. I was very different from Reed. When I first started, I changed putters every week. Because I was like, I just need to try them all before I decide. And I liked the P2. The best thing I think about the P2 is it just like, it's the most like tool feeling putter. Like when you have it in your hand, you're like, this is a putter. This is like, there's nothing to it. It's just like,
it's a putter.
If it had no stamp on it or anything like that, and like the dictionary said, this is what a putter is. In disc golf, it'd be the P2. It feels seamless. I say that with a few different discs, but this one is like the seamless putter. Slightly overstable. Obviously, I don't know if anybody from Discmania putts with anything other than... I think Simon tried the P1X for a while, switched back to P2.
Yeah, some people were trying Senseis for a minute.
Senseis. I also putted with Senseis for a minute. But I feel like Senseis were really good throwers. Obviously, the P2 and premium plastic is a great thrower. You have the Sky God series. If you lump that in with P2s, I think it goes in great.
Yeah, I like it there.
I'm going to put it above.
For me, it's almost overrated, but
it could be overrated.
It is a great disc.
Because like I said, it's a putter.
It's such a deep rim, and I guess that's more for throwing. I know we're talking about putting, but the depth of the rim is very...
That's one of the reasons I switched away from it. I will say that. It depends. That's like a just hand feel if you like shallow or deep rims. And this one, I don't know. Maybe it's just made popular by all the pros who used it, like Simon. But
I think it deserves great. I think if we were talking about Swanky, then we would have to pivot to overrated because it's not Swanky. It's just great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Prodigy PA1. Now,
I don't know how this snuck in there, honestly.
The PA1 has something similar to the P2 for me. It's very deep and it's very overstable and it's very uncomfortable. For me, it's very uncomfortable, and the reason that everyone knows the PA3 and loves the PA3 from Prodigy is that it's nothing like the PA1. Yeah. So I'm going to put it in dog toy because it's definitely not overrated and it's definitely not good. I really don't like the PA1. I've had a few. I had the Seppo Payu runs from like 2019 in the premium plastic, and I've had a few in base plastic. They're just uncomfortable, and the PA3 is overstable enough.
I've never used a PA1.
A PA3 is already considered overstable for a putter. Yeah. The PA1's too much.
Yeah, I agree. Up next, we have the Judge. I think this one in particular is the EMAC Judge, but we're just talking any Judge in general. Any plastic, which that's probably one of its best traits is that there's literally like the amount of discs that some companies have is the amount of plastics dynamic discs have for the Judge. So it's widely available. They cost like $7.
So cheap.
Yeah, you can often find them in packs. You can get like 10 for like $30, something crazy like that. For that purpose, I think it's got to go great. Also, I feel like I'm just filling up the great category.
You're good.
I'm
gonna
put it above
there
too.
It's almost Swanky for me.
It's just like
almost there.
It's also really good. And dynamic discs, I feel like, is one of the I don't know. They pump out so many discs, but I've never had a dynamic disc with flashing or like a super inconsistent. Maybe some people have. I haven't. I just haven't. Yeah. Like I've thrown a lot of different Judges and they always feel great. Yeah.
The Judge is awesome. Ooh, so close to Swanky. Okay. The Dagger. This is Ricky Wysocki's putter, and I know little about it, although I knew nothing about it until Ricky went back to DD. I had thrown it on Disc Golf Valley, and that's about it.
I was going to say, I definitely know from Disc Golf Valley. It's great.
But I had never picked one up until Ricky had some signature ones drop for when he moved back, and I hated it. Did you hate it? It felt awful. To me, it didn't feel great. It was like, something about it was very off-putting. I've never even putted with one. Have you?
I don't think I've putted. I think I've thrown with it. Yeah.
Are they overstable?
We have a lack of knowledge about the Dagger. I will admit that right now. But on Disc Golf Valley, it's fire.
All I know is I think it's a 2-speed, and
I've thrown it.
It feels very not good to me. But because of lack of knowledge, like I do have knowledge of the PA1, I'm going to throw it in the bottom of good below.
Yeah. Sorry for that one, guys. That's just how it's going to be. Before we move on, I think we're on the Whale, which is good because I was going to reference that. We're on the Whale, but before we move on, I want to say, before we move on, I want to remind you guys that we are super close to 20,000 subscribers, and we're doing a big giveaway. We're giving away quite a few discs. We're giving away the Cloud Breaker, the Full Tilt, a CAC Z from Castaplast, all when we hit 20K. And I'm going to be doing a tournament using only one disc that you guys get to vote on. So that's going to be crazy. Look forward to that at 20K subscribers. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. So yeah, be looking forward to that. And we're going to jump back in with the Whale. So the Whale is an interesting one. I actually bought one and I tried it out for a little bit. It felt awkward to me when I picked it up. But the reason that I picked that one up was because I watched the tournament where Ricky was using it all over the place, like almost more than the AVR. Maybe it was just the one tournament, or maybe he had a lot of Circle 2 putts. They said he liked using it for Circle 2. So I picked one up to try it out because I am, just someone who wants to try out as many putters as possible. And it felt awkward in my hand. So maybe that is a feeling that Ricky Wysocki just enjoys. I think he might have.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's interesting.
It was a pretty bowl-like kind of deep rim. So I don't know. I'm gonna put it in good. Although I'm gonna put it in good. I'm gonna put it below the Dagger. It's a good disc because it is also widely available. Bunch of different plastics, relatively inexpensive. It's a really deep bowl rim though that feels weird in my opinion. So it's gonna go in good.
It's interesting if you probably looked at the sales data on the Whale. There's probably just like a this crazy spike in sales when Ricky was like, I putt with whales now. And then he left it.
I was one of those. I literally was like, I'm gonna go buy a KC Whale.
I mean, everybody was freaking out about the Whale for like a month.
They were also, the KC ones were super hard. Like, I was in Maine KC and I actually couldn't use it in the winter.
Unusable.
Yeah.
Okay, the Castaplast Rico is next. I had these in the bag for a while. They feel great.
You bagged these for a while?
Yeah, not as a putter, as a thrower.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I love the Rico.
I think we had it in our approach discs list.
Yeah.
And as a thrower, it's good.
Yeah, great
Pretty
thrower, and I had them in my basket. I used them as practice putting. They feel incredible, and it's more kind of like the butter, I guess. I think it's a 2-speed, although no, maybe it is a 3-speed. Is it 3301?
I think it's a 3-speed.
Maybe it is a 3-speed. I think you're right. I think you're right. It is a 3-speed, and the Berg is the 1-speed, and that's how they do their putter section. I loved the Rico though, and the plastic feels amazing. I love the K3 hard plastic, super nice, and they make the K3 and the K3 soft. Obviously, Castoplast is known for how incredible their plastic is, but like the butter, like I was saying with Clash discs, is the Ricos are expensive.
3301.
3301, there you go. The Ricos are kind of expensive for
They
putters,
are.
but they're not like awful.
You can get them in the Castoplast starter set, which is debatably like the most expensive starter set out there.
Yeah, well that's because you get premium mid,
You get the
premium
fall
driver
in it too. Yeah, that's a nice starter set.
But the base K3 plastic's not that expensive. I think it's probably upper end of good or low end of great.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I think I had the Castoplast set in that challenge that
I'm
we
gonna
did.
go low end of great. I really like
I
it.
think that's good.
I
yeah.
really like it.
I've been seeing more and more people use them. I think the major downside is in the U.S. they are expensive. Like I could buy 3 judges for the price of 1 Rico. Probably, anyways.
You could buy 3 judges for the price of a box of cereal.
Up next, we have the Divergent Discs Narwhal.
Oh my gosh. It's a good thing I'm not talking right now. If you guys watch the starter set challenge, I have to throw this. So go watch it and then come back.
Yeah, the Narwhal, I don't know about the mold specifically, but the plastic, we bought, this was also, I think I had all the putters from our starter set challenge in here. This Narwhal, the Divergent Discs plastic that was in this starter set was atrocious. It felt like a cafeteria, like a school cafeteria plate. It was bad. It was truly bad. I think the only place this can go is dog toys.
It's absolutely dog toys.
And like I said, it's not necessarily the mold. I think that was the cheapest of the sets.
It was,
so, like if you have a kid or somebody or a dog.
Or a dog.
If you have somebody who're like, here's a couple discs for super cheap, then that starter set's great.
Yeah.
But the Divergent Narwhal is not it in the current plastic that it is available in.
It's marketed as like premium plastic for cheap. It's not a base plastic, it's a premium plastic. But my goodness, I'd rather give a beginner a base plastic all day, every day.
Yes.
Than that. It's just
100%. I will say, somebody needs to recommend me in the comments. We love reading you guys' comments, by the way. Somebody recommend me some good Divergent discs, because so far, my only Divergent discs I've thrown are this starter set and the Golem. And the Golem was so, I won't say bad,
dude, the Golem is low-key great. Let's not sleep on the Golem.
Terrible.
But it's not a normal disc. It feels like
the Golem is a
elevation
stego. It's
disc.
like a rubber stego.
Yeah,
is all
it's
it is.
so overstable.
It's
great.
dumb. I didn't like it. It feels terrible in your hand. If you try and throw it on a forehand, it just like collapses when you're throwing it. No,
We'll review the Golem for you separately.
There's a review out there. I did it. It's on the review channel. Me and Josiah both threw it.
Okay, well I need to review.
Feels terrible.
I need to go back and give it the Swanky seal of approval.
I know. You guys can let me know some good Divergent discs in the comment. Your turn.
Is this the Hope?
This is the Faith.
Oh, the Faith. Sorry, the Faith. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about the Faith. I have felt them. I've never actually putted with one, but it has high esteem in my mind because of the line that it's a part of. Because I really do love the Royal line that Latitude has been putting out. They're incredible. The Grace is obviously a phenomenal disc. I really like the Rive as well. I threw it a little bit for like forehand shots, distance-wise. And then they've got, what else? The Glory and the Trust and the Hope, I think. The Trust is a mid.
Yeah, we need to get through using all those putters.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more people using the Faith and the Hope lately. I've seen people putting with them.
Yeah.
And I felt them and thrown them, but yeah.
Again, lack of knowledge, but I'm going to put it here because, again, Latitude's accessible and the Royal line is...
They're not ridiculously expensive. They're a little bit more expensive, but like a Royal Grace is $20,
Yeah.
and a Rico is $20. So
Well.
yeah. No, the Royal line. The Royal line's fantastic, and they boast. You're never gonna see flashing on these. All of them are gonna be consistent runs. So far, they have. Up next, we have the Armadillo, which I think was also on the approach list. It's not really a putter. I mean, it's a 1-speed. I wouldn't putt with it at all. I like throwing it, though. I have it in the bag because I don't know why, honestly. But it feels
your money with it.
Yeah, no, it feels good to throw, honestly. It's got like the most subtle thumb track ever. And in my opinion, feels good. I'm gonna put it in great. I'm gonna put it right below the Rico because it's not
really a putter.
Yeah, good, great disc.
Not really a putter, but beating out the roach.
Yeah, kind of snuck into this list because I might not have been paying attention as much as I should have.
Okay, next we go back to Lone Star for the penny putter. I believe it was their first putter. And it's, again, one of these, like, prototypical, probably, like, 2301 putters. Rounded edge, no bead. Premium plastic feels amazing.
Feels real good.
Feels amazing. And then they have, like, their floating plastic, which I don't like quite as much, but...
some people do.
Yeah, some people really do like their base plastics. I've seen more people throw the Armadillo in their base plastic, actually, than the penny. But the premium penny is super nice. For that reason, I think it's going top of good for me because just plastic-wise, I think. Just for the plastic, I think that it can't make great knowing that there's not a ton of plastic variety and I'm not in love with their base plastic. That's the only thing. I mean, I'm just not in love with it. Actually, you know what?
Below the roach.
It's below the roach. It's below.
Yeah, we had it pretty early on. I liked throwing it a lot. I never tried... We used the premium one a lot more, so I never really putted with it as much. But feels good. Yeah.
Flies good.
Feels good. Flies good. Feels good in the hand. Next is the popcorn, and the popcorn is actually incredible.
Yeah,
I love the popcorn. The plastic is so good. Clash, I don't know, man. Clash and Castaplast and Latitude 64. The European companies just know what they're doing. They always feel amazing.
And they have Italian blend out of here. It's the Swedish
yes,
blend.
It is. But yeah, the downside to this one, again, it's like a $20, $25 disc for a putter. Pretty expensive. But really, really, really good. I want to put it in great. I think I'm going to put it in great. But at the bottom, just because of the price.
Yeah.
If we can get those down to like even $15 in the US, popcorn would be incredible. Absolutely love it. I liked it a little bit more than the butter, so yeah.
Respect. Yeah, the popcorn's great. It deserves the great. Okay, what's next? DGA Steady? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that this is named after the founder of disc golf. And I know that I should have held one before. But I never, ever have. Sorry, Tyler Brickley.
There's some drama in how we treat DGA lately.
Yeah, but don't worry, because all my lack of knowledge picks have wound in the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
so
also, keep an eye out. DGA is we're going to use some of these discs soon.
Oh, yeah.
We have big plans to try and mend our relationship with Tyler.
Do you have anything that you could add?
I've actually thrown the Steady before.
Okay.
And it feels good. It's Discraft. The biggest thing I'll say about it, because it's kind of their like go-to putter, it's Discraft plastic. So it feels great. Like, it feels incredible. That being said, I'm going to put it in good.
It's incredible! With that being said.
It's still just not, I feel like it's not as widely available. Also, though, my opinion could be swayed. I haven't thrown it a ton yet. I threw it, I had a friend in Maine who had one and I threw it. So yeah, that's all I got. And then up next we have the gum putt, which I actually have thrown. I've folded it up and thrown it in a basket. It's
kind of fun.
Is this the gum putt? Yeah, the gum putt. I think we had the blowfly
in one of the lists.
Or maybe it's just the gum putt again.
I think we had both in one.
Gum putt.
What to say? What
In the
can I
blowfly, we put it in. I throw it over water because they float.
They do float.
I've been informed that they are not just gimmicky though; they're very useful. And I haven't
It's
bagged
hard
one.
for me to get behind putting with something that just kind of
Yeah, no.
like folds like that
Yeah.
just for a putt. I can even get behind throwing it.
Yeah.
But putting like that, I gotta get this thing to go.
I should have said at the beginning the tiers. I didn't break down the tiers. So we don't have I'd throw it over water in this one because they're putters for the most part. So we have an overrated category, which everything has somehow avoided so far.
Dude, there's a few coming down the pipe. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this in.
No.
It would actually work really well as a dog toy, aside from the fact that it might get torn to shreds.
True.
I'm gonna put it in at the bottom of good.
Okay. It narrowly avoids dog toy.
Even though, like I said, I've never played with it for like a full round or anything like that. I do not like the rubber blend, like fully rubber discs.
Yeah.
So far, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan.
Well, all right. What is this? The Ion.
Ion.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, the Ion. Luke, you putt with Ions.
Yeah, I have it. They've been the longest standing putter that I've held on to.
It is a straight-ish, kind of overstable,
A little overstable.
beaded gyro putter. Right there, beaded.
Yep.
Yep. I've putted with yours before. They feel really good. And like you said, kind of the Nomad is a spin off of it, so it's the OG Nomad, we could say.
Yeah. It's the roach too.
It's like, I don't know. It's MVP's probably MVP players go to is probably the most popular putter for a gyro player. But just because it's gyro, it is less common to see out on the course, I think, than some of these other putters.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
And
it
I do
worse.
think a lot of people switch to the Nomad. Probably primarily because of James Conrad's name.
I might let you categorize this one since
If you're letting me categorize
I
this one,
figured
it's
I
going
might
to
just
Swanky.
let you- Yeah, I figured.
I
like it.
I have tried a lot of different putters, and the primary reason I landed on the Ion was sort of gradual progression of saying like, okay, this is a little bit more understable than like, okay, this one doesn't have the plastic that I really wanted in, and then okay, this one has a bead. I've decided I like beaded putters. And then I somehow winded up with the Ion, and I've been sticking with it. And I did consider switching to Nomads. They were just a little bit more expensive, and they didn't feel that much different. They felt like a little bit maybe flatter. Maybe the rim was like not that. The Ion's not a super deep rim, but it feels like the Nomads maybe a little bit more shallow. I don't know. It's a little glidier. It's got that 4 glide, which I know like James Conrad loves, so it makes sense for a lot of people. I didn't like the slightly tick up and glide, like maybe for a thrower. I never throw Ions. Like,
Yeah.
there's no purpose in throwing a base plastic Ion. Some of the premium plastics, they're not bad, but it's really a good disc, and they're really cheap. I find them all the time for less than $10 at like just local disc golf stores. Yeah, and I like they come with like, you can find blank, like blank, just
MVP
solid
does
color
blank.
ones. And I love those. Like, there's no, the stamp does like kind of distracts or shines off the sun, you know. Yeah,
He likes his blank putters.
love the Ion. I have to get some more Christmas color ones. I need some green and red ones coming up here soon.
Nice. Okay, so the Fierce is up next. Disc Scrap Fierce. No bead. Very understable. Available in a few plastics. Yeah, it's pretty shallow. I don't like the way the Fierce feels, and I rely on my putters being overstable for putting, so I could never really use the Fierce for putting. I don't know a ton of people that do. I actually don't know if I know anyone
I know
who
a few
uses
people
the
who do.
Fierce for putting except for Paige Pierce.
I think I've seen some people putt with them. The reason I think is because of how expensive they are.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah.
True.
It's $25 a disc, pretty much. When you're talking Fierces, they're $25 a disc, and not many people can afford to drop $25 on a bunch of putters.
Can you not get the base ones for $19.99? Maybe you
Even
can.
that's
just crazy.
ridiculous.
That's crazy. I know. That's
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure they're $25 though. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just 20.
Just
I know
nuts
the
either
premium
way.
ones are at least 25.
Yeah, the premium ones start at Oh, that's so much money. I couldn't do it. Maybe this is our first overrated disc.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the Discraft website right now.
I'm slopping it in overrated anyway because of Paige Pierce's name relative to what?
Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's overrated because of how much hype she brings to the disc and its relative performance, in my opinion.
So I know not a lot of people. Actually, we ran a poll, so I literally know that not a lot of people shop from the manufacturer site.
Oh my!
But
gosh.
the base plastic Fierce is $21.99, and you know after shipping that's gonna be over $30.
That's at least $25. That's crazy. I would never have thought that.
Yeah, $22 for the base plastic Fierce.
Yeah. Overrated. Moving on.
Overrated. We have the Spin next, which is really the understable.
Spin.
The understable counterpart to the Ion. You have the Ion, which is more overstable, the Anode, which isn't on here, but it's kind of more straight flying. Spin, understable. I think a lot of people putt with these as well. I've seen quite a few people putt with the Spin. It's a good disc. Gyro has some crazy fans, so it's like, I don't know if it's really great or if there's just a lot of people that are like, it's gyro.
It's gyro, bro. Gyro.
So I'm going to put it in top of good above the steady for sure.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Because it's a really good putter. I just think that,
Sneaky.
like you mentioned, I feel like not a lot of people are picking up understable, even beginners, for putting, like inside the circle. Not a lot of people are reaching for understable putters because of the wind. It's not quite as reliable. Even though you're a beginner, it doesn't, like, you don't have to have a lot of force on the disc to putt 20 feet. You want kind of a more overstable putter. So, yeah, it's good. Not great.
Good, not great. You heard it here first. Okay, moving on to the Discmania Link. What is there to say about this? Is there evolution disc? Is there evolution line putter? They make it in not a ton of plastics, actually. They make it in the Exo plastics, hard and soft, and then they make it in the Neo. I know that. But the Neo links are even, I think they're hard to come by. Yeah, the price is not amazing. I don't know exactly how much they cost off the top of my head, but
yeah, the reason it's on here is because we talked about all the other Discmania putters on the channel a few times. So it's really just a different one that we haven't talked about as much. The thing, for me, the Sensei, the Link, and the Logic, well, they just blend together in my mind. I know that I've thrown all of them and putted with all of them multiple times, and I can't really distinguish the significant differences between them.
Yeah, the thing with the Link is that it's stuck between the P2 being the flagship putter and the Sensei being the cheapest putter.
Yeah.
In Discmania's lineup.
Senseis
so it's like somewhere
cheap.
in between is the Link, and it's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I don't know.
Cool name.
Yeah, cool name.
Zelda fans.
Cool name. If you're going with an evolution line only bag, you would definitely bag it. But actually, I don't know. Maybe the Logic. It's got to be like here.
It's good because Discmania's plastic's good. It's not overly expensive. Like, it's accurately priced. I think you can get them for around $10. Yeah.
Dude, I wonder if it's the same old thing. I know they're manufactured by Latitude 64, so
yeah.
Who knows?
This is actually the Envy, which we definitely had on the Approach Discs list. But more and more people are actually putting with them, and I think the reason is for simplified bag. Being able to throw and putt with the same disc is kind of nice, especially if you want to maybe downsize your bag or just like feel like you have a really consistent hand feel every time you pick up a disc.
Yeah.
The Envy has obviously proved itself in one or two situations, but it's not just like, we called it overrated at one point, right? So we called it overrated at that time because at that time you couldn't buy one for less than like $50 on eBay. Yeah. They couldn't keep
Electron Soft was going for $50. It was insane.
At the time, people were like, they weren't overrated, they were overhyped. And it's like, okay.
Same thing, bro. I don't know what you want from me.
They were super overhyped for a second. Right after the shot, when they didn't have the plastic, they were overrated. Now that they're available in a wide variety of plastics, and you can actually get them pretty cheap, like Electron Soft ones, like $10, $12. You can get them in used bins pretty frequently.
And they sell lab second ones too.
You said they sell lab second ones. Great throwers. They're decent putters. Possibly, I think we have a video out there that's the best one disc round disc of all time. Top 5 one disc round discs, and I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Envy is number 1.
Yeah,
it's
Envy's
like
gotta be up there.
the best one disc round disc of all time because it throws like a mid range, feels like a putter. You can putt like it feels like a putting putter. And it flies like a mid range. So it's obviously Swanky.
It's obviously Swanky tier.
Below the Ion and the PA3, of course.
Of course.
Because
the only discs in Swanky tier are literally in our bags. Okay, anyway, moving on. The Rainmaker for Discmania. This is Eagle McMahon's new putter. I've heard that it's kind of like a P2. I have one. We got them in the mystery boxes last year, right? And through them, we tried them out. They feel great, and their different flex lines are nice for like comfort wise. But again, this is like one of those things. Discmania is doing this new thing where they're like
the price.
They're like creator series, so there's not like a ton of availability. There's not a ton of different plastics. It's just like it's like a signature series disc. I know they made some glow ones.
The Glow D line is $20.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
And
for something
0.5.
For something that's almost a P2.
It's that similar thing of like, we'll let you make these really minute changes. Call it your disc. And I mean, we're probably talking like fractions of centimeters in measurement differences between like Rainmaker P2, Luna, Roach.
Yeah, it's so similar to the
Ion,
P2.
Nomad. So it's that kind of deal. They are cool though.
The
cool. Stamps are cool.
They're expensive.
They're expensive.
They're not overrated actually. I don't think people are super excited about
Will puts with them. Our own Will Enlow. Probably because we got him in mystery boxes. I highly doubt he's gonna buy a new one if he loses it. Putting good, not even great.
Dude, the P2 is great.
Yeah, P2
it's going right here below the penny putter. Yeah, because it's expensive. It's expensive.
And it's not widely available. Like, there's a few, like, you can't just go into your local Play It Again Sports or whatever sports store you have and see Rainmaker. And if you do, either, like, if it was at our local Play It Again Sports, it'd be $25.
$45.
Yeah. We're down to our final 3. So again, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe. When we hit 20K, we're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to play in a tournament. And guys,
can't wait.
I'm going to just tease, and we're not giving the full announcement yet. Discmas is coming back.
Discmas,
and
baby.
it's going to be crazy. We're going to make an official announcement. We're doing the biggest giveaway we've ever done in our life. We have a lofty sub goal, though, to see what we can do.
So
but
if you're not subscribed, you can get a jump start on that.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe. It's worth it. It's also free, so it's literally worth it.
Literally.
So anyways, our final 3, we have the PA4. I know we skipped a lot of different putters in Prodigy. Again, I was trying to pick some that like we haven't reviewed on the channel. I think we reviewed the PX3 not too long ago. We've done videos of a few different Prodigy things. We haven't talked much about like the PA1, PA4. The PA3 had to be in here because it's the best. PA4, by default, as to what I just said, is not the best, but it is good. This was actually one of the putters I tried because I got a misprint pack from Prodigy, and they were like, you can ask. It was so cheap. It was like $15 for 3 discs, 3 misprints, and I asked for 2 PA4s, and so I got like 2 PA4s and I think an X3 or something crazy like that. For $15, and I was like, "This is phenomenal."
Such a good deal.
But I liked the hand feel, shallow rim, flat. Kind of felt like a Sensei, honestly, except for in Prodigy plastic. Good discs, really understable. I've seen more people throw them than putt with them, but I have seen a few other people putt with them. I'm gonna put it in good because it's honestly good.
It is good.
I haven't thrown many plastics with it. I've only thrown the one plastic, which I want to say was.
Probably
300.
300.
The soft plastic. I'm going to put it below the butter, above the rune.
Yeah. It's just a kind of understable.
It's understable. It's a good disc though.
Okay, the Luna. I've been eyeing this one for 7 putters because I really don't know what to do with it. Because I firmly believe that it is in fact overrated, but it's also great. It's obviously Paul Macbeth's Roach. And until recently, it was there was a time when it was just the rubber blend, and that's all you could get unless you were willing to shell it out. They dropped crystal ones, and if you weren't one of the first 1,000, you were spending $80 to get one. And they dropped some limited edition Big Z, and now of course it is easier to get them. The Tour Series ones are readily available all the time. In ESP or even last year's Metallic Z, you can get whatever you want. That being said, like the Fierce, they're extremely expensive because they have Macbeth's name on them. And they are just like a Roach in less putting plastics. There's less plastic availability for the Luna than there is for the Roach. Maybe that's not true anymore, especially in premium plastics. But the price difference is kind of wild. And I think, people are just using it because it's Macbeth's, right?
Same prices as the Fierce, actually. $22 on the Discraft website for base plastic rubber blend. They do have some cool options. They have the Star Wars collaboration Lunas for $25, but those are rubber blend. It's just cool because they say Star Wars. But the Baby Yoda Lunas are so good. They're great.
Those are sweet.
Awesome.
I'm really struggling on this one.
It's so overrated.
It's definitely overrated though.
I feel it's just so hard.
I can't in good conscience put it above the Roach, right? It can't be above the Roach. The Roach was the first Luna. It has to be overrated.
It's sad to see those two discs in overrated when they're both good discs.
But you should look at this and see these bottom 4 discs we have here and say, okay, those are not the discs I should go get as someone looking to buy a putter, and that's true because those two are trash. And the next 2 are so expensive for what they are. Look at the options above them.
Here's the thing, though, is that if you are just a Paul Macbeth fan or a Paige Pierce fan, you want to support them, that's what you're spending the extra money for. They have to pay them a lot of money, so they charge money for the name. But that being said, if we're talking overrated, the plastic on the table, is it worth $22? The answer is no. It's worth $22 because it has Paul Macbeth, Paige Pierce's name on it. And that's not a bad thing, but I think that's the definition of the plastic being overrated. Yeah. When you can get a Roach for probably $10 to $12, and in way more plastics, way more places, it's just hard to not put them in overrated. It's so hard not to put them in overrated.
And I have a bunch of Lunas back there in the shelf, and they're all in premium plastics because I really like how they throw.
Yeah.
But they are just the definition
I will say,
of overrated.
the premium plastic Luna is worth $25.
Yeah.
Overrated hot take. Let us know what you guys think. You can roast us.
It's so close to making it to great.
It's literally it's either Swanky tier or overrated.
It's one or the other. I'm still not sure.
Alright, the final disc on the list, super overrated. No, the AVR. The AVR that I am looking at, this picture on the screen, is a dog toy. But there are literally so many different kinds of AVRs. By every measurement that we have used today, the AVR blows them all out of the water. Yeah. Availability, price, plastics. It's a good disc. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the putter mold. Yeah. Like I said, the putter feels like it's the P2 feels like this is a putter. The AVR is the putter. It's what the P2 is probably based off of a little bit.
And molds within the mold. How many different types of AVRs are there? So many.
Can't even count. That being said, I don't want to put it in Swanky tier. I think I'm just going to put it at the top of grade.
That's fair because then Swanky tier's like just Swanky in the bag discs.
Yeah, it's literally Swanky. We get to divide.
And then,
guys,
like, if there was a just missed category, I think it's the AVR and the judge.
Yeah, AVR and the judge could easily be
I think they
Swanky
were
tier.
just on the edge.
Great disc. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next one again. Don't forget to subscribe. Let us know what putters we missed. What do you think of the putters on the list? We'll see you in the next one. Stay swanky.
Swanky.